Good morning. This is Yvette Owens, the business ambassador. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm glad to see you here or be with you here, I should say. My hair is impacting the mic. Good morning again. This is Yvette C. Owens of the Diplomat Chronicles Company Culture with Yvette C. Owens, where we explore the behaviors that influence company cultures and impact their people. And so I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm hoping that your day is starting out in a great way. And today we're talking about profitable love in the workplace. That's what we do. We're talking about profitable love in the workplace. A little bit more about me if you're not sure who I am. Again, I'm Yvette Owens of Company Culture. This is my podcast, and I'm doing it both video and podcast today. Company Culture with Yvette C. Owens. The company representing our company, I founded the company Destiny Speak LLC, where we provide leadership development, change management, and diversity and inclusion initiatives. We help leaders develop and create healthy organizations, healthy cultures where people can thrive. And so when we talk about where people thrive, we thrive where you have some place where you love what you're doing and you know that you're in the right place. And so what are profitable what is profitable love in the workplace? And we know that when you talk about love or you think about it, people think about the affairs that people have in the workplace because they do happen. And some people have actually found spouses in the workplace. But there's a love that we should all have that when we enter into a place of work, and even when we're choosing those places, and that's that we should love what we're doing. We should love what we're doing. And so I'm actually embarking upon a study, a research about what is it that people love what they do and how does that drive how they perform, and most importantly, can that transcend the industry or the place where they are? Could they take that because they're in such a healthy place of where they love and what they love doing? Can they take it to other places? Right. So first and foremost, how do we know? How do we start to love what we do? How do we learn that we do? To how do we learn what we would love to do? And I first point is that we should start from the inside. We often, as growing up and talking about careers and all that, we talk about the thing that we're doing, the place where we're going to be, from the perspective of I want to be an educator, I want to be, traditional policeman, lawyer, doctor, I want to be a chef, I want to be a florist, all those things. I suggest first and foremost, let's talk about look from the inside out. And that's first is where is your strength, right? What strengths do you have? What do you like working with people? Are you analytical? Um, do you enjoy collaborating? Those type of things. Do you work with your hands, or do you have a strength with working with your hands, creating? That's the best place to start when you're trying to find what I love to do, because it's really going to be at your core, and it's talking about also when you find that place, you're finding your purpose, right? So we want to also look at what is my purpose, because when I think about my core and my strengths were given to me to complement and to support me in my purpose. Purpose is, why were you created? Why are you here breathing? Why are you placed in the settings that you're placed in? I was speaking to someone the other day, and they seem to, as a leader, they seem to be always being brought into a place where they are helping people transform that space. They're coming from a very bad place. The place might be they might be having some really strong challenges, and that leader is always taken into those environments to really bring a breath of fresh air and to help people come out of a place that is really challenging, hard for the people who are there. So that means that she has a strength to overcome hard places. She has a strength to be able to help other people see their value even in difficult places. And so that's not the traditional thing at looking at what is it that I love and what do I so do I know what I want to do. When she looks at it from that place, then she can then be placed in the situation and the circumstances, um, and even choose to go into those areas because that's a place of her strength. That's a place of her purpose, and it's actually what she loves doing. Even though sometimes we try to run from those places because we need a break, right? But she's finding herself always being brought back there. So focus on your strengths, find your passion, and again, don't just look from the traditional perspective of I like music. Okay, great. Music is a huge universe. So what is it about music? What is it in your strength and your passion that you want to bring forth to the world? So you want to do that. You want to also talk to someone who can help you to work through that. Again, I have the Achievement Track program, my signature program, and it's not just for those who are trying to create businesses, it's for those who are creating a strategy and a path for their career, for living out their strengths, living out their purpose, finding that passion and allowing it to be so large in your life that it transcends any industry. And it may not. You may need to be very specific in a niche. But once you learn and you talk about and you think about and you identify those places of strengths and passions, then you'll be able to go. You also want to build a network. Build a network in the area of what you love to do and where you want to be. Networks are so empowering. Those networks help you to be able to live out loud what you're thinking inside for a place you have not arrived yet. I'll say that again. Your networks help you to live out loud for a place you have not yet arrived in. So you get to see what other people are doing in that space and not to mimic or have that imposter syndrome, but to be able to glean from everything that everyone is sharing, everything that you're seeing in that network, in your tribe, and then be able to make it your own, create your own space in that area, and become a valuable and identifiable uh, person within that same network. So you want to find your network. So strategy on loving what you do. So we all don't necessarily, the majority of us don't wake up every morning, or we didn't find ourselves born into a family necessarily where we could just choose and work our way and pick and start in the place um, where we love to do or even identify that. That's not real world. Many of us, most of us, took a job because some of us went to school because we thought we loved that area. Many found ourselves transforming into a different space than we entered into school in. Some of us went to school for the things that our parents thought we would be good at, and we had no clue. So now we find ourselves in the workplace and we're trying to figure out, what do I love to do? I want to love what I'm doing. As I introduce this whole topic, we spend far too much time, far too many hours, far too much energy in the space on a daily place in our daily place called workplace, called work, right? We want it to not be work. We want it to be what we do, um, our life's contributions, if you will, our life work, and that should be something that should be pleasant to you. So, how do you do that? Again, strategize. And how do you get there? Strategize with a coach who can help you to identify what is it that you really want to get out of this. What's your vision? What are you seeing? What are you hoping to see? What do you want to achieve? And then anchor on that, where you want to start, because you could see many different things. You could have many ideas, but when you are foundly um, rooted in a foundation of what you want to do, where you want to go, what you love to do. What is it about your current position that you love to do? That is a great place to start to identify Where is my life's work? Where is my life's work? Too often, I think many people have said, this is not it, so I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to be an entrepreneur and I'm going to do my own thing. And I'm going to caution you not to just do that, because it is work. It's hard work when you're an entrepreneur. And I'm not discouraging people from doing your own thing and having your own, but you need to be sure that that's really what you want to do and not just an escape route, because you'll find yourself quickly dissatisfied, disheartened about the amount of work that you have to do in that space. And that requires saving and making sure that you have all the right resources. So it's better to identify what you love, what you're doing, and find out, where's my passion, where's my strength? How do I transcend that? How do I develop positive habits in the area of where I love and what I love to do, and take a more positive look at where I am currently? Because there is something, hopefully there's something in the space that you're in about what you loving what you do, right? And if you start to focus on that, can start to tell you where you should focus, where you should focus, how you should develop, and how you should increase your passion. And then you want to celebrate the fact that, hey, I'm even taking a look at this. Celebrate the fact that I'm even awakening myself and my innermost being to the fact that I have many more years of being on this earth. It's not just about being in the workplace, because I am one that thinks that once you find your purpose, you find your strength, you find your passion, and you determine to walk in that, you find that tribe, you find that network, that it's a lifetime of pursuit. It's a lifetime of living out. That's where fulfillment really, you'll feel really find that fulfillment. And again, you can get that with the assistance of a coach who can help you figure out what it is, anchor there, and how do you navigate through those spaces, even your choices in the past. Appreciate those mistakes, because those mistakes led you to, um, they didn't take you out. And those mistakes also help us formulate who we are, because we overcome those mistakes, we learn from those mistakes. And if you haven't, that's again where a coach can really help you take those mistakes and turn them into things that you can leverage to move forward into something that you love to do. Because sometimes we've made mistakes because we've gone into an area and we're trying to do something that we're not really prepared for. We haven't given any thought and we just jumped into, right? Or we weren't thoughtful about the actions and the words we were saying. We weren't thoughtful about the steps we weren't taking. We weren't thoughtful about our attitudes in that scenario. And so we ended up making a mistake. Okay, we make mistakes all the time. How do we turn it around, use it as a building block as we move forward? So, can you love what you do even if you got there by not choosing that this is what I love what I do? You were interested in it, it paid well. Absolutely. Start by focusing on your strengths, finding your passion, and then starting to really focus in that area. Find a network of people who are doing that. If, for instance, one of the things that I really enjoy is helping people change and helping people to see, to excel in their strengths in a safe place, creating that place where they can excel, where they can change safely and change strategically. And its change does not have to be disruptive, because too often we make changes disruptive. So how can we help people navigate those changes and make them safe changes, make them changes that are going to be productive and propels you, as opposed to just something you've done and then it only sets you back? Because sometimes we can make changes and it can set us back. So I love, that's what some of my passions are, because that's some of my strengths. So I use that. I found a network. I found that there's a whole world out there around change. There's a whole world network out there around strategic planning, And so I help people do that. I help people do that. I help organizations do that. I help them see what they want and move that vision into a reality. And if you would like to work with me more, my information is going across the screen. You can reach me on Facebook at thediplomatchronicles.com or at the Diplomat Chronicles or in Destiny Speak or Company Culture with Yvette C. Owens. All those Facebook pages are there. Also, check out my YouTube channel. I stream there as well. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every time that I go live. And then also check out our websites, thediplomatchronicles.com and destinyspeak.com. I'm happy to be here to help you reach your place of where you love doing what you're doing, and you can absolutely get there from where you are. You can get there from where you are, and I have the resources and tools and the experience. Trust me, I've been in the workplace, loved what I was doing, reached a place where all of a sudden it seemed like things were just going so south, so wrong. Um, Leadership was didn't seem as supportive as they had been in the past, and it was like really I just didn't understand what was happening and where all this was coming from, and I could have stayed in that negative place, but I refused. I took the fact that I had success early on. Why did I meet How did I get to this place in the middle of my career to meet this all this negativity around me, all this change that was happening that was not in a positive. I was used to the positive change, being able to be promoted, receiving bonuses, getting accolades, getting opportunities to get new projects. But all of a sudden, I hit this place where that was being snatched away from me, and I didn't understand it. Colleagues were starting to treat me different, and I didn't understand it. And I didn't think I had changed. I thought things were happening around me that was changing. And as those circumstances, as people started treating me different, then I did change. But I was not changing for the positive, I was changing for the negative. And so, what I had to do was saying, really find out what is it that I love to do? What are my strengths? That's when Yvette really found her identity after working many years, after knowing what I was bringing into the world. And so um, we have to get to that place, knowing your identity, knowing your strengths, and being able to share them in a really positive light, because you can also share them in a negative light. If you're a strong leader and you like to lead people, you like to help people to become their better selves, it could seem like you're bossy. If you are so passionate about it, it could seem like you're pushing people beyond where they want to go. You can't do that. They have to be ready to do that in that space. So that's why it's best to identify, focus on your strengths. How can you use those strengths right where you are, right in the place where you are, as you build a strategy with the whole help of a coach, a counselor, um, to be able to figure out where do you want to take this as you consider your life's work, not just your work until retirement. Because I believe if you find your life's work, you'll never retire. I'll say that again. If you find your life's work, you will never retire. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you have the rest of a great week and a tremendous weekend, because we're here at Thursday, so we only have one more day and the weekend's here. As this weekend comes, focus on what are your strengths, what are your passions, what are your purpose, and how can you start loving what you do right where you are, and then connect with me so that we can start helping you build a strategy to get you to your life's work, into your life's work, whether that be in the workplace, working for another organization, or creating your own, or maybe doing both. It is possible. So, again, I'm Yvette Owens. It's been a pleasure being with you this morning. Have a great day.